Welcome to today's PowerUp training. Today we're going to be going over memberships and check-ins. So right now what you're looking at is your dashboard. And what we're going to do first is go to our memberships tab so that we can build a membership together. So the way you're going to build a membership is hit Add New Membership Type. And then this is where we're going to start the process of building our membership. So if it's something like a pool membership, tennis, pickleball, something that maybe there's a set period of time, you would be able to come on here and say, let's create a tennis membership. I'm not sure if there's a tennis. There is a tennis membership type. And if you need to use the custom membership code piece, you can use that as well. Please be aware that in the custom membership code and in the name, there's a limit of 30 characters. So if you have a really long name for your membership, please break that apart between the name section and the custom membership code piece so that all the information will be listed here. Then you're going to choose the default period for your membership. Right now, this is set to open and ongoing. This one works for those of you who have fitness memberships or in-house pool reservations, where if I sign up today on 2/6/2020, or I'm sorry, in 2020, then what's going to happen is my membership will go from 2/6 to 2/5. You can also set it up as you can change it to be more than 1 year, or you can have it based on days, weeks, or months. This is the option you want to use if it's a membership that you want auto-renewed, because the membership needs to have that type of ongoing relationship in order to renew itself like that. Then you come, if you want it to be for a definitive period of time, so this is a tennis membership that's just for this summer, you would choose definitive start and end date. And then you would say the first date that you want the membership to begin on, and the last date that you want the membership to be till. You can set the automatically send expiration email button and choose the number of days in advance. Now that is not going to increase the number of days on the invoice. All that does is allow them to get an email telling them, hey, your membership is ending. And if you'd like a new one, please contact the organization or go online. This message can be customized, so please reach out to your customer success manager or email support@recdesk.com if you have an interest in making it customized. Now, just to be clear, it's customized in the sense of you can update it for all your memberships. It won't be an individual membership type of customization. Check the box off if you want to allow online enrollment, and show on portal if you want the community site to see it. So for some memberships, such as an employee discount type of membership, you don't want online enrollment or show on portal because you want to control who can sign up for that particular membership. If there's a definitive start and end date, I recommend setting enrollment begin and enrollment end dates. Otherwise, this piece may not be necessary since for open and ongoing memberships, you want to allow them to register at any point in time. You can type in a description or a note. Remember, anything you type into the note box, you can check this box off to include the notes on receipt. You can choose one general ledger code per membership. And I'm pointing this out now so that if you happen to have an instance where your memberships may have split general ledger codes, you may want to reach out to your customer success manager to discuss a possible workaround for how you can pull that information. Sales tax, this is only applicable to those of you who charge sales tax to your customers. Now the demographic piece. This is going to enforce the demographic information from the community site. So if you choose the gender, or if you have an enrollment maximum. So if this membership you only allowed 50 people to sign up, then you want to set the enrollment maximum. Grades are not something that we are able to enforce by. However, age minimum and age maximum will now be taken into consideration when they register for a membership from the community site. So if I make this membership an 18 over membership, no one under the age of 18 is going to be allowed to enroll. And if you have definitive start dates and end dates on your membership, it's going to take those dates into consideration when calculating the age of your members. For open and ongoing membership, it's going to wait and not allow them to sign up until they reach that age. You can override that function in-house from the director side. It's only a block on the community site. And then you want to come down here and set up your fees. So if it's an individual fee, you can name it individual, includes one person, and give it a value. Make sure that if you're showing this and you allow online enrollment, that you check the show fee on portal piece. And through memberships, you can restrict based on residency. Now there's two other pieces that are part of the fee types for memberships. These punches, swipes allowed. This would be an instance of like a fitness pass where you want people to be able to prepay for 10 classes and have it be a countdown as they check in, or a pool pass where they can prepay to come for 10 instances and it'll count down during every entry. That's where that punches, swipes allowed piece will come into play. The includes up to is useful for your family fees. So if your first family fee includes 4 people, and that's $50, but when they have an extra family member, it's going to cost more. You can create multiple family fee types and just have this one include up to 5 people and increase that amount. You can have up to 12 fees per membership too. So once you get all your fees set up, you just hit save. From there, you would move to the Forms tab. Now this piece of the system is if you are going to use Flex Forms with your memberships. And if you've created your Flex Form and you're ready to attach it, just hit Edit. Choose the form you want to attach, whether it's a new form every time or if it's a shared document. Now for our memberships, we added another piece, which is required for. This is an idea. The idea behind this is, do you need something filled out for each individual family member, or do you just need the primary person to sign off on everything? If that's all you need is, mom or dad to sign off on the waiver for the entire household, just check off primary member. Remember, if you will click the allow partial box, that's going to make it so they can skip required fields when they're filling out the Flex Form. And then we're just going to save that. That is all you need to do to make a membership. And if you need to make multiple memberships of the same style, maybe you have a tennis, a pool, and a pickleball membership, and the fees are all the same. They're just called different things because they're in different places. You can click Edit, create new membership exactly like this one, and you'd be able to change this. I'm just going to call it senior activities for now. And you'd be able to update it, and it'll keep the rest of the information. It'll keep the same definitive start and end dates, the general ledger code, any demographic information, as well as the fee types. And then we scroll down and hit save. And now you've got your second membership. When you're ready to put a member into a membership, there's 2 places on the director side that you can do that. From within the memberships tab, you can click add new membership member. And if that feels like a tongue twister to say, click on quick actions, enroll new membership. It takes you to the same place. And this is where you're going to be able to decide what membership you want to put somebody into. So I'm going to choose that pickleball membership we created. As you can see, that gives me my definitive start and end dates. And I can select my fee appropriately. Now I'm going to choose the family fee for the purpose of showing you how to add multiple family members. To add people to this, what you're going to do is hit Add New Member, and we're going to search for the first person in the household we want to connect to this. And hit Select next to their name. Now to add the rest of their household, you hit Add New Member, and you're going to be able to choose them from the drop-down. Now, before I know this question will come up, if you have split households, maybe a case of the kids are under mom's profile, but dad is the one who wants to sign up for a membership and he wants the kid to be under his membership. He can come to you and say, I'd like to sign up for the family membership and have my child be part of it. You'll do the first search, include anyone that he's got part of his household that he's created, and then hit Add New Member and search. And if the child has a different last name, you can change the last name here and hit Select next to their name. That's going to allow you to bring in somebody into the same membership, even though they're part of a different household. That does not affect any financial information for this particular person. All the payment and the invoice, that's still going to be connected to the primary member. Now this piece is the auto renew option. For open and ongoing memberships, you can turn this auto renew feature on. And if you have a payment plan template, you can just choose that from the drop down. Now this days in advance, what that would be is if you want the membership to renew on March 1st, but you want everybody to get the email on February 1st, you can always change that date to 28 days before, so it would send on February 1st. Payment plan method. Now, if you have authorized.net, you have the ability to set up enroll and auto pay, where you can store credit cards, or if you also sign up for ACH e-checks with authorized.net, you can set up auto pay to go to somebody's e-check or ACH account. And you can choose that from the drop-down if they've stored one to their profile. For those of you who do not have authorized.net or there's no stored payment method on file, click on Send Installment Due Email. That's just going to send them an email with an invoice link so that they can pay. And you're just going to hit the Save, Checkout, fill out any forms. Thank you. Sorry about that, everyone. And once you've filled out the forms and proceed to the invoice, it's just the create invoice and the process that we're all used to of taking a payment. Now, personally, I think signing up for a membership on the community site is much easier. They're going to be able to log in from home, go to the memberships tab, choose the membership they want to enroll in, and when they choose the family fee, they're going to be able to check off all the household members. Now, if you have this option and you find that for some reason people aren't choosing everybody in their household when they're joining a membership, please let your customer success manager know. We can post a message on your memberships page that just tells people as a reminder that if they sign up for a family membership that they want to check the boxes off for everybody in their household. This just makes it faster so that when they hit save, all the family members who have active profiles are going to be able to be added. They can go through the checkout process, and it's that simple. Now, I'm not going to pay the invoice just for the sake of time. But that's all you need to do for setting up your memberships, and that's what it looks like when they sign up for memberships online and in-house. Now the check-in feature. Found here on the right-hand side under the Go to Check-in button or on the Facilities tab, we have two options, the Attended Check-in and the Self-Check-in. Now when you click Go to Check-in, it's going to take you to the Attended Check-in screen. This is going to allow you to choose your facility, Select if you want to enable drop-in program selection. Now, what that means is if you've got programs set up where people are prepaying for a spin class and you want to say that they're here for that spin class, you want to enable that program or event selection. That's also a useful area for your yoga classes where you're charging $6 per class, or if at the pool or over at the tennis court, you're paying a drop-in fee. This enable is going to let you go through the check-in process and invoice someone. I am not going to change this, but for the program period, you can choose what type of program you're looking for. Runs the ones that are running today and tomorrow, or the next 7 days. And you can also restrict by membership. So if you're sitting over at the pickleball court, you can check it off so only those with a pickleball membership can check in. Now, some things I want to make everyone aware of. We have some new updates that are going to be coming out within the next few days. One of which is that I am a suspended profile. Instead of being able to check me in, it'll say the word suspended. The other is there's going to be a counter over here that's going to give you the total number of check-ins per day, and then a second counter next to it that counts the number of check-ins per hour. And when you check someone in, you're going to see any tags, some basic profile information, and the memberships they're included in. As you can see, this is a demo site. I belong to a lot of memberships, so there's a lot going on here. The ones to pay attention to are the Punch Pass, though. See how I have 2 Punch Pass memberships? Pay attention to the one, because what should happen during checkout is this one is going to turn into 0, and it won't touch this Punch Pass until I go to check in a second time. But these tags and this red box are a good place if you're using our check-in feature to put a notice of please have them speak to manager or something along those lines. If there's a problem with their account or there's been an issue and you need to speak to them, you can put a tag up here so that when they're being checked in, whoever's checking them in will know, hey, my managers have been looking for you. Hang on one moment while I let them know you're here. And when I scroll down, you're going to see the program selection piece. See how this says pre-registration is required for this program? That's what it'll look like if pre-registration is required and I have not signed up already. If that is set up for the program as pre-registration required, but I've already registered for the program, I'll be allowed to click the check-in button. Now they can check into multiple programs too and have different fee types. So you saw this one has a 1-day fee of $2 for evening yoga. So I can pay the $2 as I check out, and it's going to let me create the invoice, make a quick payment, and it takes me right back to the check-in screen. And if you notice here, now I have 0 punches and swipes remaining and 20 on my other option. Now that's what the attended check-in screen looks like. For those of you who do have memberships and strict rules about people having to pay a check-in fee if they do not belong to a membership, if you would like to restrict here, a good workaround is to create a fake profile, and I like to call it a guest check-in. This way, you can have a guest check-in profile in the system to connect invoices to. And on the payment itself, in the notes section, you can put whoever the person's real name is so that if you ever need that information, it's under one profile. You can see who those one-time people are and when they came to visit. The self-check-in screen is a little bit different. That's more designed for just simple check-ins. Now, I don't have a barcode and a barcode scanner with me, so that's why I'm typing names in. It's much faster once you have barcodes scanned to their profiles. And as you can see, when I check in, now that second punch pass that had 20 went down to 19. To get back to the director piece, it is password protected from the self-check-in screen. We do that on purpose so that if the members of the public notice that they can exit it, the worst thing that happens is they get logged off and they won't have access to anyone else's information. Some things to keep in mind. In the case of somebody checking in and the check-in wasn't supposed to happen, or maybe you want that punch pass to go back from the facility or the membership or the member's profile, there's a tab that'll have the check-in totals. And all of the check-in totals are based on the membership, on the person, or on the facility. And from here, you'll always be able to change the date range, download the check-in details where you can pick and choose which details you want to go to Excel. But if you needed to give somebody back a check-in, hit Details next to the incorrect check-in, edit again, and cancel that membership check-in. Now, I'm not sure which one that is, so I'm just going to hit Save. And that will give them the punch back if I chose the right one. I chose the wrong one, so I went to the wrong punch pass, but you guys can get the idea behind this. And hopefully you won't have profiles like this where the same person has multiple punch passes as I do. And another report to keep in mind for this is on the Reports tab. There's a Facility Program and Check-in Report. I personally like to show all details, but everyone has their own preference for how they like this report to look. And this report is going to give you the total number of check-ins for the building and then break it down by the number of check-ins per membership or per program. And if there was a cost or if there was any money taken, it'll also give you the total amount gathered during that period of time. And as a quick reminder, if you need to add a barcode ID or something along those lines to a member's profile, what you'll do, I'm just going to unsuspend myself real fast, is hit Edit Profile. And right here in this Member ID box, you would just manually type the code in or scan it in and make sure that you save it to the profile. And that's all there is to setting up your memberships and using our check-in feature. I'm now going to open this up for any questions, and I'm going to go into the chat box. So Christy is asking, can you just renew a punch pass versus enrolling a new one so there isn't multiple ones? Yes, Christy, that's really the best method. I just have two because I bet at some point in time somebody used my profile as an example for the same punch pass membership, and it's just been sitting there for quite some time. Normally what would happen is you can have them renew, and you can set up auto renew for the punch pass. So if they run out of punches one day, it'll renew overnight for the next one. You're welcome. And just for everyone who's asking, Christy has experience in this. The renew button is if you go to the membership itself and the memberships tab. If you don't see the A, which is when auto renew is turned on, you can click this renew button right here and it'll continue on. So Chris is asking for the suspend feature. Can you set a certain date for this? For example, if we have someone we kick out of the pool for a week, can we set that so they can't try to come back in early? The suspend feature does not automatically come off. As you saw, I had to actually physically click that option. I can, however, let everyone know that we do have a feature that we're going to release to a few individuals for a pilot test soon that would be able to help you for that type of an instance. And just to give you an idea of what that is it's going to start on member profiles and on invoices, and you're going to be able to talk to the other RecDesk users in your system to be able to send them messages. So in that type of a situation, when that feature gets released, you'll be able to suspend that member and, go to somebody who works with you, reminder to unsuspend member on this date. Casey is asking, if I have tags on a member's account for a certain facility, if they try to reserve it or check into that facility without those tags, will it still let them check in reserve? Casey, this has nothing to do with the reservation piece of the system. Memberships and check-ins are very different than the facility reservations. But tags are not something that you're going to be able to restrict on. It's memberships that you can restrict by. So I see the show more options. However, if you're using the attended screen and you have a tag that you don't want people to, if they don't have the right tag, they can't come in the facility, that will be something that you would need to make sure your team is aware of so that they know that if they see that tag on the profile, that person shouldn't be coming and checking into that building. No worries, Casey. So Abby is asking, have these features ever been used for summer camp programs? Some of my customers have used this for checking kids into summer camps. The one thing to just keep in mind is that I really want to just point out it really depends on the size of your organization if that's a good choice. Because if you have 45 different summer camps that are running in the same day, you could end up having a lot of programs that are listed on the check-in screen. But I do have some customers that do use that for the check-in programs because they tend to only offer one summer camp per week. So that's really the only program showing up there. Some of my customers that are doing that, they will also have an in-house program that is specifically designed for summer camp drop-ins. If you allow parents to drop their kids off for one day of summer camp instead of having to sign off for the whole week, you can always use this feature to get that daily rate put in there. Now, I have a private club that also does a bit of a workaround that I'm just going to show. When they check in for guest fees, what they'll do is add the fee in here and they'll hit the complete check-in to proceed to invoice. They'll create the invoice, but they kind of skip back to the attended check-in screen because it still checks in and it creates an invoice without a payment so the member can pay it at a later date. Chris is asking, this may be more of a specific device question for what we choose to use, but do you know if anyone has successful experience using a portable device with a barcode scanner check-in? Yes, but everyone's going to laugh at me for saying this. It's not iPads. I know we all wish iPads were more compatible, but they just use those micro USBs, so they don't communicate the same way to the devices. My customers that are using portable devices, some of them will get something like the Surface Pro or, I apologize, I forget what it's called. It's the one where the keyboard, can flip all the way in half and it looks like a laptop on one side. Basically, what you just need to make sure is that whatever portable device you're using, that it has multiple USB ports. That way you can not only use the barcode piece of it, but if you decide you want to plug in a credit card swiper, you'll need 2 ports. So just keep that in mind for however you build the check-in piece that need the number of USB ports based on what your device you're using. Oh, Casey, thank you for saying that. That's really helpful. Micaiah is asking, how do you activate your cards? I think you mean the membership cards, and they're with the member profile. So you have to assign them to who the person is. So you would go to that person's profile and come down here and hit Edit Profile. And within this area here, Member ID, you would either manually type it in or scan it in. And for those of you who may be thinking about this and this is your first year and you're wondering about what barcodes or barcode scanners we're compatible with on the Support Center, if you type the word in barcode, you're going to see what type of barcode scanner do we work with. And the answer is any of these type. Pretty much any of these style barcode scanners will work for RecDesk. And over on the right-hand side, how do I assign a member ID? This particular article is going to give you the restrictions for how large a barcode can be. And I know this may sound weird to many of you, but please make sure that if you order barcodes that you start with a small seed value. We've had a few unfortunate instances where that question was not brought up, and when cards were ordered, they were well above what our limit is, and they ended up not being compatible. Oh, Casey, I love your input. That is awesome. So Casey ordered pre-printed barcode stickers off of Amazon so they could just stick it to their cards. And then they can put that number into the member ID, and it works really well for them. Now, I don't know what cards they're using, so I'm going to let Casey respond to that about what cards it is that they're using. Chris is asking, is there any way to have a picture pop up with check-in? I don't know if you noticed that because the picture is of my dogs. But when you hit the check-in button, the photo that is assigned to their profile is going to come up. I just used a picture of my dogs instead of a picture of myself, so you may not have noticed that piece. If you need to update the photo, though, of somebody or put photos in for the first time, on their profiles, there's this piece right here where you can change photo and either activate a camera. If you use a camera, we do recommend that you just use those simple ones. The more advanced the camera, the higher the pixels, the less likely the photo will be able to be used. Or you can upload an image if you have one that was sent to you. So Casey responded, for those of you who are wondering about what card system somebody may have used, they have a Pronto printer with MagicCard and a system called CardPresso. It's pretty simple to use and not too expensive. You can get ones that do more cards at a time, but we don't have more than one card made at a time. Oh, yes, Casey, I would love all of those links because we're always whenever a customer asks us for that type of information, it's always helpful to have somebody like you who uses the system and has happily used a piece that I can send that out. And if you don't mind, if everyone would like, we can even include that information in an email to everyone tomorrow after these videos get loaded. I'm sorry. Oh, Tom has also, one of our new customer success managers has also applied with another pre-printed card service. Tom, if you don't mind, send that to me too, and we'll get everything all listed together, and we'll be able to send people some more information about that. Now, Whitney is asking whether members can upload their own photo when they register through the city webpage. At this time, we have not allowed members to update or add their own photos. If you're interested in that type of feature in the future, I can put you on an enhancement request for that. And just so that we're clear, you guys are looking for them to be able to upload it once, but if they need to change their photo, you want to be able to do it, or do you want them to also be able to change their photo? Now, that may sound weird, but I've had weird questions come up where how do you guys know if somebody changed their photo? But figured I'd get feedback. Of course, Deborah, if you're in this meeting room and we have your email as part of... Perfect. So, Deb, my coworker's got your place too, so we'll put you on that list as well. I like that idea. So Casey's idea is if they can upload the photos, that you guys get an email alert when somebody goes to change that photo too. All right. Do we have any other questions for today? I'm going to leave the meeting room open for a few more minutes so that if any more questions come in, we can answer them. Otherwise, thank you all for joining me today, and thank you everyone for all your questions and feedback. And I will talk to you all later.